Hi, you're watching FedScoop TV. I'm Colby Hockmuth. I'm sitting here with Flip Anderson, Deputy Associate CIO for Technology Planning, Architecture and E-Government at USDA. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So Flip, what was your first government job and what did you learn from that?
I guess my first government job would be in the military. I was in the Army for 26 years, and leadership played a big role in being a military officer. So that was probably my primary learning experience from them, was how to lead. And coming out of the military, this is my first foray into federal government service with USDA. I would say there's a big difference between the DoD management of IT and the federal government way of doing business.
Sure. So was there anything that you did earlier in your career that you feel influenced your success?
Education. I put a lot of stock into learning my trade, whether it was in combat or in information technology. Spent a lot of time in different classes, becoming a program manager, getting a master's in information technology, as well as a CIO certification. I think all of that helped move me in the direction that I went in my IT career.
Yeah, and so what advice may you have for young employees that might feel overwhelmed in their new role?
The biggest thing is just to take your time, figure out exactly what it is you want to do in your career, and then make a plan. If you have a plan, then it's not so overwhelming as you start going to classes, getting new jobs, as long as you stay focused on what it is you actually want to do.
And what's some of the best career advice you've ever received?
I had a general officer when I was a young captain that told me, make it my mission to be the best at what I was assigned to do in the organization. He told me, make myself indispensable. And I've kind of lived by that from assignment to assignment, job to job. Sometimes it's a double-edged sword. When you become indispensable, you can't take time off. Taking leave, you get called off leave to come in and brief somebody because nobody else has that level of knowledge. But you become the go-to guy, and that kind of helps further your career and getting to where you want to go.
And what resources would you recommend for someone to help further their career?
Again, education. I spent a lot of time in distance learning, spent a lot of time in universities, on-site training. I put a lot of stock into just getting trained.
And what would you suggest, or why would you suggest someone pursue a career in government?
A lot of people used to think that being in government was like a secure position, but I think being in government gives you an opportunity to broaden your spectrum of experience. A lot of times you get into the commercial environment and you get put into a position where you're stuck there for like 15, 20 years. Within the federal government space, I've seen 2 or 3 years guys are ready to move, and they don't have an issue with relocating you in order to fill positions. So I think going into the federal space, it's an opportunity to broaden your horizons from a career perspective.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You're watching FedScoop TV.